Hi guys, Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and I forgot to turn the autofocus off. I always seem to do that. Let me do that really quick. I'm on early simply because I'm trying to fit this into the time I have available. And I'm only going to stay on till no later than 4 p.m. Eastern. So from now till 4 p.m. At 4 p.m. I'm going to sign off. And because I've got to go work on the storage units more, and I'd like to get over there before 5 o'clock, and then I'm going to work over there until probably about 6. Hi, Dawn. But I wanted to just come on and chit chat and share a few things for about an hour and a half. If you're here for a shorter time period than that, I'm sorry. I'm probably going to blather until 4 o'clock. Hi, Gertie. So I've got Happy Mail. I need to catch up in the little book that Tanya mailed out. And I wanted to talk about the challenge I put up in Phibbsville. So we'll do that first. And the only other thing I have is the fabric book kit that Mary bought me from Rosemary Morris. I started working on that this morning with Mary. I think it was this morning. Yeah, this morning. So this is just a challenge I put up in Phibbsville. It's not mandatory. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to get you out and arting. I was going to try to complete the first, 3 days of this today, but I'm probably going to have to do it at another time, maybe later tonight or something. But this week had 5 days because I count from Sunday to Saturday. So we've got the days are numbered just like they are on the calendar. So we have 1 through 5 is counted as week 1. And then the next week has 7 days, and the next one 7, and the next one 7. And then week 5 has 4 days. And so you just follow along. You can do whatever's for that day. You can choose something that you missed that you still would like to do. These are just prompts to get you started. Now, you can go on Pinterest if you want to, but I changed it to say you could just Google it, because you know where Google's going to take you is to Pinterest. Hi, Gail. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Barbara. So this is the list. It's on Phibbsville, and if you open the picture, you can print it off. So you could have the list handy, just an FYI. Hi, Jane. You're new to me. Welcome. But then I made up this hashtag Phibbs Autumn 2020, and it needs to be all in lowercase because that's kind of how I set it up. And that way we can find each other's work. So that's what this is all about. The next thing, let's open this Happy Mail, is from Laura, who's crafty Jersey crafter. I just cleaned the desk off, so all the scissors are put away. But she mailed me something, so let's see what she's got in here. Working and lurking, she says. Okay. Oh, wow. Look at this. It felt like something else was in there. She's got it wrapped. Now, the boxes that I'm doing up, for those that were interested in a medium flat rate box last week, everything is just kind of thrown into the box. I'm not doing any special wrapping or anything like that because I'm already hours in. So it'll be like digging through treasure boxes, you guys. Washi tape that's got kitty cats, and it says meow. And some rickrack. Some beautiful. Oh, wow. Thinking of you. Note on the back of the tag, not sure what you like, so I sent a little bit of everything, some of my favorite things. Laura. All right. So look at this big old piece of fabric here. Isn't that great? If I'd opened this earlier, I could have used some of this in the other journal, but that's okay. It looks like I'll have enough here to make another fabric journal. some pretty ribbon, and an old quilt. So you can fold it that way, and it would make one of those this size. What are they called? Is everybody that wanted a box in Phibbsville? That's what I need to know, because if you're in Phibbsville, I can look you up and email you, because I don't want to put my PayPal stuff out, because I don't want people paying for a box that I don't have their name and then I run out of boxes. Does that make sense? Or you can email me, and I'll email me with your address, and I'll email you back with the how to pay for the boxes. And I can only send to USA because I can't afford the shipping out. It would be way expensive. I can't type, and there we go. I think that's right. Let me look at it again. Yeah. So Laura sent me some fun little quilt bits from a loved quilt, because the batting's all bunched right there. And some chenille. Isn't that pretty? And a bit of ruffle. And some, that looks like Holly Hobby fabric. My sister had an apron when she was little. Robin had an apron, a Holly Hobby fabric. And this is what this looks like. Some bunnies. Bunnies. Might have to do another fabric journal with this stuff that Laura has sent me. That would make a nice cover. So if I put that in there. Some pretty fabric there too. Yeah. And then the bunnies. And see, then this could fold over like so. And then this could be a wraparound like that. Put this on the edge of that, sew that on there. And then this I could use for pockets and stuff. So I think that's what that'll be like. Oh, there's more fabric. Hold on, hold the thought. There's some more. Oh, that's a big long piece. I might have to cut some of that off. Or I could fold it in and sew on the sides here, and then have it fold in again. So there'd be a pocket, but then you'd flip it in so the stuff wouldn't fall out. I'll think on that. That'll be an idea. And then there's another big, pretty yellow piece. This would be a really thick book, wouldn't it? This piece, I think I would split down the center. Like that. I can iron this out. It's got a few snags. It's pretty thin fabric. I'll look at chat here in just a sec. Oh no, Kathy. Oh, that hurts. So sorry to hear that. This is pretty from both sides. And I'm sure he feels horrible. I know Scott would. Scott didn't want to go to work today. It's hard to go to work when you know the job is ending, but he's going to do the right thing by the company. After all, they're doing us pretty good. So that'll be the book, like so. Maybe put some snaps or something on it, and then I can make pockets with the smaller bits and things. Let's see what we got here. That could be the tie. It's a piece of lining fabric, some pretty embroidery. That would make a pretty pocket. And then she's got a little clasp here. Uh-oh. Let's see if I can get it undone. Oh, goodness. This stuff doesn't want to come untied. Trying not to pull, because then if you pull, you tie the knot tighter. Laura, this stuff is tricky. It looks like that would be a loop there, and it would just pull out. But it's not doing that. I think maybe I'm getting it. Maybe. Oh, I don't know what it's done. Well, I got it. All right. If we leave her tag on there, maybe leave it like that. So put that toward the top. There we go. That way I won't lose all that tie and everything. All right. Sorry, I got sidetracked trying to put the book together. Hi, Candy. Is Sana here? I missed her. There she is. Hi, Sana. So this is from Lori, the Jersey Crafter. And favorite. And then she did a little cluster on a piece of tag here. And then, whoops, I'll keep her note. There's another note there, she said. She's just keeping me in her thoughts and prayers, she says. And then this would be just little odds and ends that I could add on the inside if I want to, or use elsewhere. Some little butterflies. You are awesome, Sauce. Some tickets. So this is like a little ephemera pack, little book pages, some words, pages, painty paper. This is just a fun little package of stuff. So I'll have a second fabric book to work on. There's a snail. And that looks like it's got a slide screen in it. It's a page out of something. That's pretty cool. Could do a tag with that. pumpkins, napkin. This feels like wrapping paper. And some flowers. Looks like orchids. And some fabric washi tape or ribbon. And there's some more ribbon. Look at them. Oh, these are cute. And they're dimensional. Little canning jars. Isn't that neat? So happy mail, happy mail. There's a feather. It's stuck to a little girl's face here a little bit. But I think I can pull it apart. And some flowers or berries on a piece of vellum. Some leaves on some vellum. Good vibes. Some more papers. That one's got bling on it. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then all of this here. Wow, that world stuff is cool looking. And then a big old piece of painty paper. It looks like it's on that old dot matrix stuff. So thank you to Laura for the surprise in my mailbox. Now, can I get it all back in the envelope? That's a good question. Maybe. There we go. And then I can put it all back in her envelope so I don't lose it. And I have that tub under the table where I'm putting everybody's happy mail so that I don't lose it when we move back to the house. For anybody that missed it, Scott has been laid off and we are moving back down to our house so we can be closer to his mom while he looks for a new job. So this will go in that tub later. Let me show you that kit that Mary bought me through Rosemary. And I will just work on this for a little while. I'll show you what I did with Mary this morning. I'll set the ephemera for it off. I sewed my book together. So this is what I've done so far. I'm going to do some stuff on the cover and try to keep some of the cross stitch still visible. This piece was just a smaller piece, and I think Rosemary made pockets and stuff from this piece. I have not watched any of Rosemary's videos because I've been so focused on, getting stuff around for this mess that we're in the middle of again. So what I did is you can see some stitch lines right here on the rectangle that go in the opposite direction. I put that one picture toward the back of the, I'll show you. This picture here, it was just so pretty. I wanted this as a whole page, but to get it in my little book, this much of it stuck on this side. And so I figured I will just stitch that slow stitched piece or whatever they call it onto the little piece that's here and make another page. So there's another page. And Mary had mentioned that Rosemary had taken some of the numbers off from this kind of fabric. And so I did that. So here's page 2 and 3 and 4, make a tag. I sewed them back to back. And then this one I just hooked the 5 so it hangs off the bottom because this page is so short. And then I put the 6 on top of the page. And there's 7. And 8 is down there. 9. 10. And then 11 I have hanging off the page. And then I didn't have 12 through something. So this is a kit that Mary bought from Rosemary and had sent to me. So Rosemary sells these in her shop. So this is the center of the book. And then I didn't have any numbers. And here's where my numbers start again. Oh, the back of the quilt is here. So I've got this needle in here. to sew this on. But what I've done is I've put a 19 and a 20 back to back, and I'm just going to tack them in place. That's why the needle was in here. But I'm going to finish my flip, and then we'll do the tacking on. And then I've got 21 through 29. So I have a few more pages here that I can do. And mine has more pages because I used all of the larger pieces. Plus I use this as a full page and then tack that other piece on it. And then there's the back cover. Probably should have used that for the front, but that's okay. So let me go back to where the pin is. And what I do when I'm sewing on these by hand is I take the whole book and make it so the only thing out is the page I'm working on. This is a mixture of fabrics, Kathy. It's got some old eyelet material that's got the little holes in it. It's got old pillowcases, quilts. This looks like a drapery, pillowcases. It's just all kinds of fabric. It's like whatever she had, she just put it together into kits. See if I can get through both. And that's all I'm going to do is just a couple stitches. And then I'll run it to the other side. With a running stitch. I can take that pin out now. Then I'm just going to tack this side here. And then I'll do a running stitch starting on this side again. It's hard to work on it when it's inside the book, but I'd already put the book together. Hi, Gigi. Hi, Cheryl. I'm only staying till about 4 o'clock. I know Tanya and Barbara are going to be jelly plating here in just a few minutes. And I don't want to stay on long because I want to get to the storage unit before 5 o'clock so I'm not stuck in 5 o'clock traffic. Luckily, I don't have too far to go to get to the unit. But still, they get crazy out there on the main road in the evenings. Even though it's supposed to be 45 miles an hour, nobody goes 45 miles an hour on it. The only time people slow down is if the highway patrol decides to start stopping people. Oh, I put my fabric scissors up. So the next page over here would be 21. Now, if you wanted to, instead of stitching it on, I guess you could staple it. Hi, Lucia. But I think I'm going to repeat this down here with the 21 and 22 back to back. I put my fabric scissors back just in case Scott got the urge to snag them to cut paper. And I'd have to tell him no. Actually, you know what I'll do this time? Is I'm just going to cut it between the 22 and 23 and fold this over the page. And then just take a couple stitches just fold it over if I can get my hands to work. Here's the 21, fold it over, put the 22 on the back. Let's see if I hold it up to the light so I can see. This needs to come down more. I have been discovering all kinds of sewing channels lately because, I want to get back to sewing. I have so much running through my brain. Yesterday, the reason I didn't come on is I was working on those boxes and I had the yearly woman torture at the hospital. So I had that done. I haven't checked the My Chart yet to see. They said they'd call if the doctor found anything on the scan. So she said, if we don't call, you're probably fine. I was like, okay. That little hospital was just about empty. I mean, they took my temperature as I came in, made me use a hand sanitizer, and had my mask on. They had masks ready if you didn't have one. And then I got in there and watched a bunch of people walking around with their noses hanging out. And I'm like, hello, if your nose is out, it's out there ready to grab whatever's floating in the air. The whole idea behind the mask is to cover your nose and your mouth, where moisture and fluids pass. But, oh well. Finally got to see some pictures of my great nephew. My sister-in-law finally got to see him, and she posted some pictures. He's a cute little butterball. It'll probably be a long time before I get to see him because, well, long story. That worked pretty good, and that worked fast to get them on there quickly. I might do that again. Yes, I want to get back to quilting and sewing. I really want to design quilts. I love to do paper piecing of things I've done. Like for one of the round robins we did in my quilt group, which is kind of not active right now. I'm not, one of the members passed away and everybody else has gone quiet. So, and I haven't had the energy to stimulate everybody like I usually do. Oh no, you have to have an MRI? Yuck. Yeah, I'm trying to get all of my yearly stuff done before we are back down at our house. And before, we don't have insurance anymore. The insurance will run, I think, until March too. Like I said, it's a really good separation plan. It's just not what we anticipated. We really hoped that we'd, retire from this company and he'd get in the years he needs to get full retirement. But we've been through this before. We'll survive. He can get benefits through the VA. I'm not sure what we're going to do about my health care, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I can't cross them all at once. Tackle one bridge at a time. Luckily, I'm kind of ahead on medication here at the house. I'm going to leave it just like that. So hopefully I'll have enough until one of us has insurance again. I just don't know if I'm up to doing retail work anymore with the way my neck hurts every time I lift something. I don't think it'd be a wise idea. I really don't want to run a register all day and just stand running a register either. I like how that works, folding the measuring tape stuff. What would be really cool with the, it looks like a real measuring. That would be cool on here too. Maybe I could find somewhere I could get the numbers I'm missing, because this doesn't have the other numbers in it. Oh, I only had up to 11. But it'll get started. Oh, Gail. I was at the storage unit. I ought to take y'all to the storage unit with me. I have gotten rid of so much stuff, but I got to thinking I don't want to carry it all back down there. So I'm being brutal about it. I've already given up so much stuff, but I still have so much stuff. And I got to thinking about, stuff really ends up controlling your life. So I'm just trying to purge everything I know I'll probably not to get to. It's unrealistic to keep it, and somebody else could probably put it to good use, if they had it available. So, but what I was going to say is I have a whole tub of quilt tops. But now I have quilt frames, and I told Scott, I said, you get done with that front room down there, I might set those two quilt frames up, and I could work on two quilts at once. When I got tired of stitching a design on one, I could pull the other one out, and it would just be sitting on the frame and go to town on getting them quilted. Uh-oh. Joann's really wants me to shop. I don't know if you guys get notifications from Joann Fabrics, but oh my goodness, they're about to drive me crazy. If I mark as read, then in 30 minutes, I'll get another one. It's like, you have to come in and shop. It's like, no, I'm getting rid of stuff because I have too much. Wouldn't that be funny if this was 25? I could have used that as my page number, but it's 27. So I have 27. There's 28 pages in my book, so I don't really need the 29, but I'll hold it. It might make a good part to a cluster. So let's put this, I guess, up at the top this time. I'm worried about what we're going to do with our cats. I'm very brave, huh? Throwing out my stuff or giving it to Goodwill. Oh, even with all I've given you guys, there's so much stuff. I would never use it all. And I'm making up these boxes, and I only want to do that once because that's so much work. I know I could make money off it, but, I've got so many other things to worry about right now. Let me get this where I can see it, which is, I don't know where. That's another appointment I have later in the month, is my eye exam. Which my doctor up here, she said, you're way past due to have that done, and you've got to have it done. And I'm like, I'm going to go home and make the appointment. See, I have those at the back of my right eye. My nerve endings are huge. And sometimes if I get overly anxious or I start getting a bad headache, it feels like my right eye is going to just bust out my head. It's that bad. But luckily, that hasn't happened yet. I have a torn meniscus too. They're no fun. Luckily, mine has not been hurting since I got that cortisone shot. The cortisone shot knocked the pain out. And until I can hardly walk, I'm not going to worry about having surgery. Especially right now, I don't want to really. It was all I could do to go have the mammogram yesterday. I just don't want any part of a hospital right now, no matter how many, precautions they're taking. My ex-sister-in-law, my brother Jack's ex-wife, she had COVID, and she was out for 2 weeks. She works at one of the hospitals. And my mom said that, my mom and dad were called to go get her kids, my brother's kids, out of the house. Well, it's not safe for them to come there because my stepfather has COPD. But my ex-sister-in-law was about ready to go back to work, and her test came back all hinky. And they said, no, you can't come back until whatever's going on is cleared up. So my mom's getting tired. My mom is 74 years old and taking care of up to 6 children at a time is a little much. When she has fibromyalgia, dad has COPD, it's just a mess. All right. So that's all the numbers that I have. That's all the numbers I have. So then Mary was doing a pocket or something, but I was thinking I'd like to do something on the front of this here. And I like the idea of putting a doily. And then there was this piece of ribbon. That piece of ribbon might actually make a nice closure. We might save that. Then there's the Singer sewing machine. Whoa. Whoops. I think I would actually prefer hand quilting over the machine, because the machine, maneuvering the quilt around on just a regular sewing machine. I think that's how I broke my reverse on my machine. So yeah, I think I'll skip. Put that there. Right now, Kathy, it's fine. I've been taking naproxen twice a day and then a muscle relaxer at night. I can't take the muscle relaxer during the day because all I would do is sleep. Y'all wouldn't see me at all if I took that. It just knocks me out. So I like that green with that and the red ribbon. No. Maybe I don't want that whole piece. Maybe that's the problem I'm having. I'm just laying things out right now, guys. Bear with me. I don't like that blue on there. That's bothering me. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Dawn. Oh, goodness. This is the little kit that Mary bought me from Rosemary Morris. And I'm just trying to do a couple pages in it. If I get the cover done, it'll be lucky. I try to think too much. That's the problem. See, I could just put this on my machine and run it across. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stitch this on here. Let's get it where it's I have the white quilter star, and I was going to box it up since the reverse is broken on it, you know, my reverse handle. But then I told Scott, I said, you know what? It's got the automatic button holder on it, so I can't pack it up and just not have it out. But I've got my old dressmaker that I've had since 1982 that still works. I mean, she's a workhorse. She never dies. She's heavy. She's never given me any problems. Unless like somebody else has used her and then she's like complaining about being used by somebody else, but I usually get her back in line. I'll move those pins as soon as I get a couple stitches in. Now I can take that one out so I don't stab myself with it. I have a friend in Maine. She does machine quilting, and she said she would be glad to quilt my quilts, but it would cost so much to ship them back and forth and then pay, you know, her fee and everything. Ow, missed it. Got my thumb that time. I've got one quilt that's absolutely huge, and it's done in rainbow colors, but it's like a king-size bed quilt. I think Scott's going to be shocked at how much I've donated. I'm just tired of being held back by the stuff. Okay, there. And I'll sew that other on there. I am going to put a design on the front of this little fabric book that Mary bought me the kit, and I'm going to put this together that I've got here. I think now what I'll do is I'm going to stitch this to this. Put a pin in to hold it in place to get me started. Oh, I got a big old knot in it. Come out, come out. There we go. Yeah, Mary surprised me with this kit, and then when I turned her on this morning, she was working on her little book that she'd gotten from Rosemary. So I said, I'll pull that out while she's working on that. And I'm still having to be quiet because Scott slept till 11 o'clock this morning. And then I made flounder and grits and scrambled eggs for breakfast. So we had fish and grits and eggs for breakfast this morning. It's already 3:11. Okay, Tanya is live for anybody that wants to head on over. I know I'm coming on her time, so if you want to go and watch her and Barbara are going to be jelly plate printing today. Has anybody else noticed that tinny sound that comes across on some channels when they're on StreamYard? Some channels it comes across really tinny, and I miss watching a lot of people, but since they've started using StreamYard, I've found I'm not watching them as often because I can't stand that tinny kind of sound. I don't know what's causing it or what, but it just grates my nerves so bad. I don't enjoy watching. So if I'm missing and you've started using StreamYard, it's probably because I just personally can't stand the tinny sound. You don't get grits in Canada. Oh, hi, Norma. Sure, Janice. I make a big breakfast is Scott's favorite meal of the day. So if I cook nothing else, if I cook a really good breakfast, he's happy. He's a happy pappy. He loves breakfast. All right. I was trying to work on this earlier, and Tippy said, no, you can't do that. He'd climb up on it and was laying on it, and then I'd start trying to sew, and he'd put his paw in the middle of it, and I was like, you're not letting me sew. He's like, you're not petting me. Animals. And then the dog wanted out. They know when you want to do your own thing. I shift the pin so that it doesn't try to get away from me while I'm sewing it. Hi, Kendra. Did I say hi? I don't remember. Kathy, I could get up and work in the yard for 5 or 6 hours and then come have breakfast. Scott, if he doesn't eat right away when he first gets up, if I try to get him to just go do something with me, he'll pass out on me. But his blood sugar's been giving him a headache lately, and the medicine that his doctor put him on drops it so far that he went back off from it. So he's not taking anything right now for his diabetes. And but it's out of sorts. So I've been trying not to cook good stuff, sweets, anything sweet or anything like that. And I've been trying to make things, with fresh vegetables and more veg than meat and that kind of stuff. And the lower carb vegetables, lots of broccoli, lots of cauliflower, kale, spinach, all the stuff they tell you to eat for good health. All that leafy stuff is really good for your eyesight too. My eye doctor wants me eating a whole bunch of kale and stuff. I also take a vitamin that's strictly for my eyes. It's got, what's that stuff called? I want to say lutins, but that doesn't sound right. I'd have to get the bottle and tell you the two items that are in it, because for life of me, I can't remember them right now. I'm going to go ahead and tie that off. Then I'll hide the string up underneath a little ways. Not that you're going to see it anyway. It gets caught on the little tendrils that stick out here. I think that'll hold that on anyway. Yeah, they just can't go like we can. I guess because we kind of have to get up, and we're already working by the time they get up. And then they go work for 8 hours and we're still working. Oh, goodness. Your kidney doctor took you off all my diabetic meds. Yeah, I was wondering that too. So, see, my doctor says there's this new shot that I would have to give myself. But I told her, I said, this was, a couple trips ago to the doctor. Because I go like every 3 to 6 months, depending on what my numbers are. But she was wanting me to take that shot plus the metformin. And I told her, I said, I don't want to give myself a shot. I said, I know what to do to get this under control. And I got it under control, and it's still doing. Are you managing it with diet, Kendra? That's what Scott did for the longest time. He did really, really well. The grits was probably not good for him. I mean, it's high in carbs. I mean, it's corn. So, but he said he sure did enjoy it. Let's see here. I think that'll be a pretty decent cover. Do I want to put it over just a little bit farther this way? I think what I'm going to do is just finish sewing my little bits together, and then just hold off for a minute until I see what I'm going to do for a closure. You go every 3 months for blood work? Well, see, I've been doing so good. My the other day when I went for my neck, she said, why don't we go ahead and do your blood work? So it was not fasting. It was not any fasting readings, but my blood glucose A1C was 6.3. So I'm 0.3 above where technically you should be under. You're doing the low carb to get yours under control better. Yeah. I don't eat a whole lot of meat because I also have heart issue. You know, I've had a heart catheterization, and I have what they call a typical diabetic heart, where I have narrowing of the smaller vessels at the tip of my heart. What the heart doctor said is you're juicy everywhere you're supposed to be juicy in there. So my heart does okay. It's just I don't want to eat. My cholesterol was really high and everything. I got the cholesterol under control apparently, because she's not mentioned anything about cholesterol medicine anymore. But I do take a fish oil tablet every morning. Breakfast is followed by about 6 pills. Before breakfast, I have to take the thyroid pill, because you have to take your thyroid medicine with nothing in your stomach. So that's the first thing I do. And 8 is better than 11. You're right. As long as you're going in the right direction, that's what counts. If you can, don't drink diet sodas or any of that. That stuff's really bad for your bones. You're better off drinking other stuff like tea or coffee or water. And my doctor is a obesity specialist, and she's always talking about make sure you're getting exercise. And man, I'm getting the exercise right now because I'm just go, trying to get everything around. So that's what's going to be on my front cover, like that. I'm not going to tack it down until I see what I'm going to do on this next page. It's got a little tear there. I was thinking I might put something like this on there. See, that could be a pocket in the side, but I don't know if I want to do that on the cover, or do I? I'm going to fold this under. You just started? The diet sodas actually make you crave food more, and it'll make you even crave sweets. So I try not to drink any diet sodas. If we're on the road, I have a tendency of getting a Diet Coke, but I try to limit those. See if I can turn this into a pocket real quick. But if I put this pocket back here, maybe I should put this on first, so that I'm not sewing my pocket closed. I'm going to hem this real quick, the top of my pocket. I'm just doing a running stitch. Oh, I need to move this pin. It's in my way. Gina uses a great big needle. If I used one that big, I'd be stabbing myself. But everybody finds the size that works best for them. Hi, Beth. I ought to be working on Beth's page. I just have a little bit of beading left to do, and I can get it in the mail to her. But everybody keeps sending me these fun projects to do, and I can't not do those. Okay, so that's hemmed up. Let me go to the outside right here. But I'm only going to stay on till 4, and then I'll run up and start working in the storage unit again. the butterflies are all starting to die. Their wings are so pale looking, and they're not doing so hot around here. I don't know about wherever y'all are, but I noticed that we've got one that was dying in the front yard. His wings were all tore up where birds and cats had gotten a hold of him. And I don't know. You have to check and see how much, what it's the sodium and salts in them that get you, from what I understand. My sister-in-law, Scott's sister, was a dietitian for a while before she started selling dialysis services. She was real big on the anti-soda. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, they get things like wrong with them. Like we're all seeing, it seems a lot of us, I won't say we all, a lot of us are suffering with diabetes type 2, and that's all diet and exercise related. And then the people that have COPD that won't stop smoking, they use oxygen. My mom was a respiratory therapist, and my stepdad smoked for years and years and years. And he finally quit smoking when he went on oxygen because mom got on him, and she said, if you don't quit that smoking, the oxygen's not going to do you any good, and it's going to be worse for you, because what happens is when you smoke, you're depleting your oxygen level, and then your oxygen saturator can't tell you, it can't operate correctly for you, because it gets confused, and then it won't give you any oxygen. You can end up dying from that stuff. So if you've got COPD, stop smoking. It's dangerous. I'll get off my soapbox now. I got to remember to leave enough to tie a knot here. It doesn't have to be a great knot. I don't know if I left enough. One, a two, a three. We'll do the owl next when I get a chance. Right now, I just can't think about doing up patterns and stuff. I was looking at the calendar. It means I have like a week and a half to get the storage unit back empty, or I'll have to pay another $138, which, you know, we could use $138. Yes, water is your best substitute for any of the carbonated drinks or tea or coffee, because there's no caffeine either. You guys, I'm about blind as a bat. Even in my trifocal, look, get this over a dark color. Maybe I can see it. Come on. I need to get me one of those things that you put the needle in upside down, and then you lay the thread across it, and then you just keep pushing the button until the little machine shoves the thread through the hole for you. My grandmother had one of those. All us kids fought over who would help her thread the needles, because we wanted to use the little machine. It's Beth's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Yep, iron's on the fire. Exactly. I feel like I'm in a hot pan. I'm trying to figure out what we can do to keep the kitties safe from that crazy man down there that catches them and turns them in. And then to get them back, you have to pay crazy amount of money. So I told Scott, I said, we've got to build something for the cats. They won't go far. I was like, I don't want them to be a nuisance to where they get taken. As it is, when up here, Tippy goes off all day. I don't know where he goes. The other two are kind of always nearby, Callie and Howard. But Tippy, he's a roamer. Scott just said, I'm afraid we're going to lose one or two of them at least in this move. I was like, well, I hope not. Spot's going to stay here and be Adele's cat on the porch because he comes and goes so infrequently. Beth, what time are you coming on? 6 or 6:30? I want to try to be back from the storage unit before you are on. See, I watch you a lot and I just don't chit chat in the chat because I'm usually doing something with my hands, and it's hard to do something with your hands and chit chat. So a lot of times I just come and watch and give you the watch time. All right, so there's my little pocket, just like that. So now let me tie this off. Before I put this on, I'm going to tack my thing on the front of my journal. Whoopsie. I might have to speed through one of Rosemary's videos to find out what to do with the little pattern for the mannequin thing. So that'll be a little pocket there, but we got to put this on the front first. And see, this here has a little fold there that I could stitch something along there. Maybe put this up there. I don't know. We'll see. But right now, let's put this back on here. And I'm just going to tack it here and there. Let's see, that's not quite straight, is it? $6:30. Okay. And that's Eastern, right? I believe you're Eastern with me. I'm probably not going to take anything to the thrift store today. I'm just going to go work in the unit for a while. Oh, I don't want to lose that. I should put this stuff back in the bag before I lose something. That bling didn't come with this kit, but I think I'll throw it in this dish so it's off my desk. Kind of like that for the top of this pocket. When I sew the pocket on, before I put the pocket down, that's a perfect fit. So we're going to do that. Yeah, you can't chat when you got your hands full. Like I was watching Shell earlier paint rocks, and I had been doing the dishes so I could chat for a few minutes, and then we wanted to work on the puzzle together. We do the crossword puzzles together, and we hadn't done that yet today. So I said, well, okay, Beth, I'll see you then. So I got off from the internet and went and we did the puzzle together. Let's see if I can catch this, just the doily. Sew it from the back side instead of going all the way through. So I'm just taking little stitches and just catching the doily. Scott was watching something about Lost in Space, and they were talking about how they reused the same things over and over, and then they switched to those outfits that was the shiny silver lame. And all I could think of about was the year Greg wanted to be the Green Power Ranger. And, he had that gold thing on his like a shell that he would wear. Oh, that was the hardest part of that whole costume. I hate sewing lame. The easiest costume I ever had to make was a bank robber, because he just wore a jean, a black t-shirt, and a ski hat, and I just had to make a money bag for him to put his candy in. Just doing a little whip stitch, catching the doily as I go around. Luckily, this fabric's see-through enough that I can see it. I got to remember to take water with me. They said that place is climate controlled, but it's climate controlled for I don't know who. It's so hot in there. Yesterday, I just went over and got the box of stuff I'd set aside for the flat rate boxes. And if you had signed up to get a medium flat rate box, just email me your address, and then I'll respond with where to pay for the medium flat rates. And I think I have some extras. Like, I can't remember. I'll put that up on the community tab, how many I've got extra. All right, I think another one. Oh, and pleather. That's another thing. Greg wanted a matrix coat when he was about 15. Whew, that thing about did me in. But then I hired a drag queen, and he told me how to sew on that stuff. He said, you have to lubricate the needle with needle lubricant. I was like, oh, okay. Good to know for next time. Right. So see, it's getting stuck on, but I'm only going through the back side of the doily. So you'll see little hen stitches there. Little stitches. They're hard to see. That's what you need to email me whenever you're ready. They're not quite ready to go yet, but they're about half full right now, and I'm going to the unit today to work on some more stuff. So whenever you're ready, email me, and I'll give you the details on the PayPal account. I wish Bernadette could go with me. There was a lady in there with her dog yesterday, but I just don't think I want to take her. I think it'd be too hot in there for her. So if you had signed up for a D-Stash box, the email you send to is and if you're not signed up for one, just email me and ask me if I still have some available, and I'll let you know if I do or not. At this point, I do. I have probably over 7. And it's $25, flat rate, box, medium box full of stuff. All kinds of stuff. So far, there's some scrapbook paper, there's ribbons, rubber stamps. What else have I gone through? Some different kind of like buttons and that kind of stuff. Old jewelry pieces and just all kinds of stuff. Trims. It's taking considerably longer than I thought it would to fill up the boxes, but then I decided to fill all the boxes that I'd ordered in so I wouldn't have them all underfoot. So that's why I have extra boxes. I just got to fill them up. That's fine, Kathy. And if you're friends with me on Facebook, just message me on Facebook. That'll work fine. I hate email too. I hardly ever look at mine unless I'm doing something like this, because most of the time it's just ads and just garbage. It's just, back in the day when you got email from people, it's like nobody emails each other, and then nobody writes letters anymore. You know, it's so nice to get just a note every once in a while. I sent my sister a card. She said that it's up there, and every time she sees it, she thinks, I need to call Becky. And I said, well, you never have. She said, I know. She's got her hands full, though. She teaches a set of kids on Tuesdays, Thursdays, another set of kids on Mondays, Fridays, and then on Wednesdays, she tries to teach all the kids that are at home. So 4 days a week, she has to go behind those classes before the next class can come in. She's got to wipe all the desks down and make sure everybody keeps their mask on. She says it's exhausting. Her health's not the greatest. Worry about my sisters that teach. Because y'all know children are sweet and precious, but they are little germ factories. They catch everything because they've never caught it before, so they have no immunity. Yes, I know a drag queen. When he was made up, he was beautiful. And he made the most intricate, stunning headpieces. All this hand beading, feathers, they were stunning. Anybody with that much talent, I say, let him live. Let him do what he wants. As long as he's sharing that beautiful talent with the world, who cares? I worked, my boss that I had for most of the time, I worked at Michael's. He'd always say things to shock me, and I'd just look at him. He'd say, that's not the reaction I expected to get. I was like, I am married to a sailor. I have a son that was a sailor. Nothing you say is going to shock me. I was raised on a farm. I've heard it all before. It's nothing new. You're not as clever as you expect it to be. I do not ever want to go back to management, though. Trying to hire people that actually wanted to work is the most difficult thing on the planet. I'm telling you what. They want to come in, stand around and talk all day, not do anything, just talk, stand around. Kids aren't going to be, the trading of the mask and all of that. Yeah, I know. I saw a meme where the mother said, "This is not the mask I sent you to school." I know, I traded with blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my word. That's something I hadn't even thought about until I saw that meme. It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy times we live in. Telling you, I don't think we can catch a break, though. The dryer at the house is dying. Luckily, we have another dryer, but it's just a mess. See, we got a washer and dryer out of our neighbors. They were just tossing it out because she didn't like it. It wasn't broken or anything. We don't replace things unless they're broken. If it's beyond Scott's ability to repair, that's when it gets replaced, which is very rare. But he said, he's sent me a message. He said, "I know you're probably not going to want to hear this, but listen." And he showed me the dryer, and it was making all this horrible noise. And Scott says he knows exactly what it is and that it's an easy fix. Because he said, after all, there's nothing to a dryer. You have a drum, a motor, a belt, and a heating unit. That's it. That's all there is to a dryer. I told Scott, I said, you could probably make money just fixing dryers for people and that kind of stuff. But he would need a business license to operate in the city. That kind of stuff. All right, Lucia. I'll check the email when I get back from the storage unit. Do I have enough to get to the end? I hope. So I thought I'd start using some of this trim as I go along. I love to do these little fabric journals, and I think Mary knew that. I need to finish my other one. I found a bag of stuff that Barb Fillion had sent me to do a page, and I hadn't got it done yet, so that's something I need to do. Can I get to the back side? Yep. And I'm just going to run. I don't think I have enough here to tie a knot. No, I'm just going to run this thread down underneath here a ways and then run it back up and hope it doesn't come undone. I can't even go back up. I don't have enough thread. I told him, I said, you could probably put a notice up on the community bulletin board down there that you were available to fix small appliances. And see, then I'll have this little pocket here. Maybe come over a little bit because I've still got to fix. Well, this might help fix that tear. All right. I've only got like 10 minutes. I'm probably... Whose pages, hon? These are, I don't think these are 6 by 6. And I noticed my little journal is getting to where the pages get smaller and smaller. I don't know what these are. Let me see. Because these are all different sizes. Because it's just pieces of stuff Rosemary had laying around. I want to make sure I'm doing this right side up. It's kind of late now. Yeah, this would be the top. The pages on this book come out at about 5 1/4 by about 6 1/4. Oh, Greg's just not very motivated. Yeah, my book without a little piece of thread in it because it'll get pushed too far in. Uh-oh, Kathy's spinning. I'm not spinning here. But I was going to say, I'm going to sign off at 4 o'clock so y'all can go watch Tanya and Barbara. They're jelly plate printing, and I'm going to go work on the storage unit and bring some more stuff back to fill these boxes on up. Email me or message me on Facebook with your mailing address, and I'll message you back with the oh my gosh, I totally forgot. You know, where you pay? PayPal. Gosh. Maybe I'm not safe for anything today. All right, so that's ready to go for the next time I work on it. I'm going to put the fabric scissors in there. So I've just started working on this, and I think it's going to be a cute little book. That's it all together. Yeah, I started at 2:30, and I'd love to go and play with Tanya and Barbara, but if I don't stay steady at this storage unit, I'm not going to get it empty in time. I just don't want to pay another month's rent if I don't have to. Oh, I'm sorry, Janet. I think I even shared it to Phibbsville, so it should have bumped up. It should have bumped up a notification from Facebook. So I'm going to let you guys go, and I will check back with you later. I'm going to go work at the storage unit until about 6, and then because I can't handle it more than like 2 hours, because I don't care if they say it's climate controlled. It's hot as a dickens in there. I just can't do it for very long. But I'll be at Beth's later, and maybe I'll pull her page out for her fabric journal and finish it. So thanks, guys, and I'll see you later. Thanks for the thumbs up, and I will catch you when I can. I'm hoping for next Wednesday. We'll see where I am as far as the storage unit. Take care. Bye-bye.